Before we get started, I'd like to say that if you enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. It'll take a second and it'll make me very, very happy. In the original storyline for Half-Life 2, the Combine had installed a facility called the Air Exchange, which replaced the atmosphere's oxygen with murky, dangerous gases which were emitted from the facility's reactor. This connects with the other plot element that Combine were extracting Earth's natural resources for their own benefit, like draining the ocean for minerals. Furthermore, this meant that all wildlife animals, all the fauna, and everything natural started to die out. A morbid detail to have in a story, to be honest. So, grab your crowbars, charge up your HEV suits, because we're going to take a look at the Air Exchange. I have the 2001 beta running at the moment. The first map we'll look at is called Air EX_start. There are two more of these, _01 and _02, and then there are some others that don't really fit in with the sequence. I'll explain along the way. The first thing I noticed was the skybox. The combination of the orange color representing the setting sun, along with the darker colors depicting the clouds, breathes life, a personality, into the level. If you don't know, in game development, skyboxes typically are the textures which give the background to a level, existing there only to make the level feel bigger. Skyboxes usually use a cuboid with textures planted on top of their surfaces. This type of creating the sky, this method, has long since been discontinued. With the advent of new game engines, the sky and the atmosphere are represented much more realistically now, but these ones are like pieces of art. It's like the sky is the canvas which holds a beautiful painting. Back to the level. There's a great use of lighting here. Overarching light from the sunset is complemented with the light fixtures of the facility. These light fixtures emit white, cold light, which cast a sense of dread to the place. The orange light also gives off an effect. It gives off a feeling of warmth. While the clouds that are rolling in represent a sort of evil that is coming, the orange light gives a feeling of hope. The use of light, shadows, and color is very, very important in game design. Without proper lighting, the map looks bland or ridiculous. And using, not good but rather appropriate textures is equally important. What use is it if the lights or colors are great but the textures are just awful? Okay, enough of the game design, back to the story. This is the Air Exchange facility. Apparently, this level would have consisted of a huge battle. On one side, we would have had Gordon, Captain Vance, who was a character that later turned into Eli Vance, and Alex. Oh, and Captain Vance had an army of conscripts, and Alex had a pet called Skitch with her. The main objective during this mission was to destroy the huge tower and shut down the facility, which would later signify the start of the revolution back in City 17. Gordon and team would have been against Combine soldiers, Striders, and Combine super soldiers, which were cut from the retail game. Well, this whole level was cut. Instead of this level, we got the Nova Prospekt level in retail. I'm sorry, I know the story is interesting, but I have to derail again and talk about the level design. For some reason, this orange tint laid across the map is just amazing. I don't know why. The tent along with the facility's own lights make me cream my pants. I just love it. In the level there are also parts where you have to dodge these electrical shocks while fighting stalkers and combine soldiers. I disabled the targeting AI for this video so I don't get killed by them. After that, it's more of the facility. You fight more combine soldiers and stalkers while making your way to the outdoors. I'd say a lot of this map was completed before it was scrapped. We finally get to the elevator which would take you to the top of the tower, so this is where the level ends for us, but in the story, they wanted Gordon to fight a gunship and then have Gordon blow up the facility and continue on to the Borealis. So in the 2001 beta, there are a couple of more maps regarding the air exchange facility. A few of these have the suffix of Remnant, and some of these have the suffix of rough puzzles. I'm guessing the remnants are parts that they had designed but thought they would not use, and the rough puzzles are just, well, roughly designed maps with puzzles in them. Neither are that special, to be honest. The first one of the Remnant maps killed me in a few seconds because I didn't know that the fan beneath me would launch me to my death. I no-clipped and saw what the map was, and it is quite unfinished. It's a big one, but there isn't a proper sequence in which you can view all of the map without no-clipping. This other one is a really small one with lots of Odells standing around. Odell, of course, was the character that later turned into Odessa Cubbage, the person that gives us an RPG to take down a chopper in the Highway 17 level. The puzzle maps are okay, I guess. They're either about evading lightning bolts or using air fans to jump across platforms. I'll show you the footage in case you're curious what the maps look like. So that was the air exchange chapter in Half-Life 2 beta. Completely removed from the final game, it was replaced with the Nova Prospekt chapter, and I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of the Nova Prospekt levels in Half-Life 2. Maybe if they had used this design and called it Nova Prospekt, maybe that would have been awesome, but the main point of this video was just to show you a cool little chapter that was cut from the main game. It just may be a level to most people, but for me, this is a part of video game history, and for me, it's just not a level, it's something more that I can't explain properly. These empty maps give off a vibe that I absolutely love. Thank you for watching.